we're geeking for all. Marvel, DC, Trek, and more.
Fire.
Pop culture battles, settle the score. Nerdfights, let's get loud. Nerdfights, yeah, for the geeky crowd. Nerdfights, hey, it's time to throw down. Bring your fandom, it's the hottest showdown. Who's got the takes? Who's got the heat? Mr. Know-It-All and Salty can't be beat. Introducing Gonzo, a nerdy delight. Comics knowledge, a geeky sage. Judging the battles, turning the page. That means only one thing. It's time to fight.
Beat drops out with the final shot.
Nerdfights. Let's fight!
Nerdfights is a competitive debate game show where self-proclaimed nerds face off for 3 rounds in head-to-head battles over geeky topics, judged by a single judge who decides the winner based on argument strength, wit, and strategy.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Nerdfights. I'm, of course, your host, Mr. Know-It-All. Joining me is the my good buddy, my captain from another mother, Salty Trekker. How are you, sir?
Captain from another mother?
Yeah, sure.
That's weird, man.
And of course, our love
Can you
child,
just go with it?
Gonzo. How are you, sir?
Hey, what's going on? What's going on?
Looking like here.
My brother from another mother. I know I gotta.
Salty and I fused and created you.
So,
All right. So, yeah, man, this is Nerdfights. Welcome to the second week. Hopefully, we do better this week. I don't know if we could do worse than last week.
we did great last week. I have no idea what.
Yeah, man. What are you smoking?
By the way, apparently,
Whatever you're not, you need to smoke what I'm smoking.
Darren pointed out, he's like, you shouldn't call it live if you're not actually live. It's just a premiere. And I was like, yes, sir, you're right. I'm sorry. So sorry about that, Darren. Anyways,
Yeah.
Welcome to Nerdfights Dead.
for real.
Yeah, there you go.
Darren.
There you go. There you go.
Right on, man. All right, so this week's game, what are we talking about? What's the topic today?
Today is video game movies.
Great. In honor of the Minecraft movie coming out. Hopefully,
Is anyone
I'm going
looking
to
forward to watching it?
I am going to go see it because there's an extended Superman clip being played in front of it. I know it's terrible. They're doing like they did with what's that not Last Jedi. What was the one from the prequels? That remember like it had its debut during another movie and people went to go see it and then walked out after they saw the preview.
Oh no, I did. Not
Yeah,
know that.
so that's what I'm gonna have to go do because I'm gonna go see it. You know, on Minecraft.
I actually, with my insider info that I get from Hollywood, I'm going to spoil it for you right now.
Sure.
The extended clip is just director's chairs with all the cast members from the movie.
Yes. I
Oh my
believe
God.
it wasn't.
That was terrible. That was just so terrible.
That was like a 4-hour live stream. Oh,
Dude.
man.
For real. All right, real quick.
wasting
Before we
your
get into all this
life.
stuff, let's cover the general rules for everybody who just got
All right,
started.
go ahead with the rules, everyone.
General rules. Nerdfighters are given a debate topic. Fighters pick a number to determine who argues first. The judge is the sole arbiter. All decisions are final unless genuinely persuaded otherwise. Arguing with the judge in bad faith, all kidding aside, results in immediate forfeiture.
That's right. So if you say, all kidding aside,
You lose.
you lose instantly. Oh my God.
Well, I'll try not to mess this one up this time. I can't guarantee anything.
No, you're good. Okay, so unlike last week where we actually knew what one another was going to do or we're going to talk about, we have no clue this week.
No clue whatsoever.
So the topic is our video games, our video game, the best video game.
The best video game movie.
That this is totally subjective, by the way. So I know I can
This is
already
going to be
Andrew
extremely
Vark,
subjective.
I could see Stan Lee, all you guys in the comments sitting here being like, well, how do you know it's the best if the whatever? It's subjective. Okay, we're just making our opinions. Man, we have to convince the guy downstairs why our opinions are better than the other person.
Why are we trying to convince Satan of anything?
Wow.
Whoa,
I've never
whoa.
called Gonzo Satan.
I didn't call Gonzo. So you slipped the guy
man.
downstairs.
I'll tell you what, though. It's like, see
What's that mean?
that there? I mean, I wonder what that is.
All right.
All right. Are we going to get started here?
Yeah. Okay. So you would let
I got a number here for you guys to choose. It's a number between 10 and 30. See who goes
Wow.
first. I don't care.
Okay.
It's the closest
26.
one. Say it again.
26.
26.
25.
You're a putz.
Oh my god.
All of these numbers, and you pick the one right next to mine.
Of course I do.
And because of that, Salty
I
won.
bet you stand next to the guys at the urinals. Okay, there's a rule. You keep a space in between.
I thought the rule was that you just couldn't stare
Well,
for
next
more than
time we'll
30
have a
seconds.
better way of seeing who goes.
We're
first.
definitely gonna before next game. We're gonna figure out a better way to randomize.
Yep,
this thing.
exactly. But today it looks like Salty won. I don't know if he won last time.
What was it?
It was 23.
Right on, man.
Wow, I am glad I
That's what that
picked that.
Hey, that's what I was
Right?
saying. You know, it's like, you probably saw it in my face the minute you said it.
Like-
All right. So Salty,
Yes.
what is the best video game movie you're going to talk about today?
Yeah. All right. So, does my time start now, or
No, we wouldn't even know.
We're discovering currently what the movies are going to be.
but you see, that was the big reveal was going to be part of my presentation.
Stoic.
Look at, and you're talking about me messing this up?
Are you ready? I was about to do the. Ready to
I
do
mean,
it?
I'll do it right now. You want your 5 minutes?
Let's start the
All right,
timer.
let's go. Here we go. Here we go.
Hold on. God bless you.
Round 1. The Good. Each fighter has 5 minutes to clearly present and defend their chosen position. 1 point possible. No attacks allowed yet. Stick strictly to promoting your position. Bad sportsmanship can result in the loss of a point or points. A judge may ask fighters clarifying questions, giving each fighter 2 minutes to respond. 1 point possible. At the end of the round, each fighter is allowed to offer a final 30-second summary of their argument.
Okay. So we're going to then start the time. You have 5 minutes, and you're going to reveal the movie that you're going to. But see, here's the problem with that: is if
If you
Mr.
want to
Know-It-All
do
has
the movie
chosen.
first, that's fine.
Hold on. If Mr. Know-It-All was going to choose the same movie, then we will have to do.
Oh no,
another
wait!
movie.
I highly doubt it.
You highly doubt it. All
Yeah.
right. Well,
The odds of that happening are very slim.
this
Never tell me the odds.
This will begin officially right now.
Okay.
Salty.
So because you see, for me, the whole journey here was trying to figure out what movie to pick. Because as a general rule, I think we can all agree that video game movies, that is, movies based on video game IPs, suck. And I don't think that's a controversial statement at this juncture. So I was trying to think of video game movies that sucked less. Right. And honestly, at first I really had a tough time deciding between two in the horror genre, Silent Hill and Resident Evil. I was really struggling with these because I enjoyed both of the movies, but then I realized I had not played the games at all. So I didn't know any kind of reference to how close it was or anything like that. And to me, what's really important is, are they capturing the essence of what the game was? So then I landed on what I think arguably in recent memories, probably one of the not just greatest video game movies of all time, but one of the truly greatest movies of all time. And that, of course, is Mortal Kombat. Now,
Okay.
with that one, it's like, hey, they really captured the essence of a lot of the characters. They did a great job, but then they crapped all over it too. And so, but I did play Mortal Kombat. So at least I saw it's getting there. It's getting there. But then I realized, honestly, there's only one movie that could possibly be the movie that that is finally the apex of being an enjoyable movie and true to the game. And that is Minecraft. So my movie is, in fact, Minecraft. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, but wait a minute. How could you possibly say Minecraft when that hasn't even officially been released yet? Very fair. That's a very fair.
Brother, this guy stinks.
Wow. Biased
So, are you
judge.
serious? You're going to talk about a movie that hasn't even come out yet?
Yes, because here's the thing about Minecraft. Unlike any other video game movie that I have ever seen, this movie unapologetically duplicates the actual world of the movie almost to an insane level of precision. We actually see just in the trailers how not
See the eye
only
roll.
is every animal and every creature and every object in the Minecraft world perfectly duplicated from the game, just as if it had a high-res shader, which, by the way, you can...
You have 2 minutes.
Thank you. But not only have they duplicated the aesthetics of it, but the stupidity of how the physics in the world work, because they literally just go, and things are there. Why? It doesn't make any sense. Of course not. It doesn't make any sense about Minecraft. And story-wise, I know that's where you're thinking my big weak spot is, but story is my strength. Why? Because Minecraft is about nothing. So no matter what they do in this movie, they are accurate to the game. Mic drop.
You sure? You got 1 minute and 21
No, I'm
seconds.
fine. I'm fine.
All right. That was very unorthodox.
I mean, it's good to know
and
I'm winning this
I'm
week.
going to have to deliver to decide whether I'm even going to allow that. Because that movie hasn't even come out yet.
Agreed. It
So
hasn't come out yet.
technically, we didn't say movies that came out already. However, that was such a cop-out. That's minus 10 points.
You're starting with a minus 10 points. I love it. All right.
All right, Mr. Know-It-All.
okay.
Give
Sure.
me 1 second here. Yeah, right. And you can begin right now.
Mortal Kombat 1995 stands as the best video game movie of all time because it delivers flawless victory in faithfully bringing the game to life. Unlike earlier adaptations that strayed far from their source material, Mortal Kombat broke the mold for video game films. In fact, it holds the honor of being generally considered to be the best video game movie adaptation of all time. Thanks to its tongue-in-cheek tone and reverence of the source material, the film embraces the Mortal Kombat game's characters, story, and spirit so thoroughly that fans felt they were seeing the game on screen, and that level of fidelity is the core of its enduring success. By the way, there was also briefly a video game that went in arcades is where you played video games back then, kids, that actually used the characters, the actors from the movie. So that's a lot of fun. Now, Scorpion's iconic design moves, and his moves are faithfully recreated in the 1995 film, exemplifying his dedication to the game's characters. By the way, also using the creator's voice, who is the guy who voiced when he says, "Get over here," and all that. So I thought it was really awesome. They actually physically used the same person who voiced him in that. So firstly, Mortal Kombat 1995 is remarkably faithful to the game's characters and storyline. The movie's plot directly adapts the game's premise, a supernatural martial arts tournament where Earth's champions fight to save the realm from Outworld, essentially the same setup as the 1992 arcade classic. All the major heroes and villains from the original game are present and recognizable. Liu Kang, Sonya Blade, Johnny Cage, Raiden, Kitana, they're all depicted with their signature looks and personalities, just as the players remember. And by the way, that was the coolest representation of Reptile I've ever seen in my life. The evil sorcerer Shang Tsung is portrayed exactly as fans envisioned. Actor Kari Hiroyuki Tagawa's performance was so spot on, it's now regarded as the ideal portrayal of the sorcerer, with every future Shang Tsung comparing themselves to him. Even the four-armed Goro appears as a towering practical effect creature, making him a real monster of a character. Sorry, I wrote that pun. I feel bad about it. But ultimately, focusing on the tournament and the core fighters, this was virtually unheard of in 1995, given that prior adaptations like Super Mario Bros. And Street Fighter had alienated fans by radically changing characters and stories. Mortal Kombat, by contrast, understood the assignment and ultimately the game, what it offered to those who played it, and it unapologetically gave fans exactly that. It ultimately included innumerable little homages that only players would notice, from Liu Kang's flying kick to Sub-Zero's ice attacks. Rarely did any character or signature move would feel left out of this entire thing. As one retrospective praised the film, does an excellent job of recreating every one of the game's iconic fighters and displays a level of homage and faithfulness to the source material that will keep any fan of the game happy. In short, the characters, moves, and lore that define Mortal Kombat are all right there on screen, lovingly translated. Moreover, the tone and atmosphere of the film perfectly captures the game's unique spirit. Mortal Kombat is a franchise known for its dark, fantastical world and over-the-top action, and the 1995 film gets that. It walks the ideal line between reverence and camp, never devolving into parody, but also never taking itself so seriously.
2 minutes.
And it stops being fun. The movie's martial arts fights are intense, yet creatively choreographed. They mirror the fights from the game itself. Secondly, the fan reception to Mortal Kombat 1995 was and still is overwhelmingly positive, illustrating how fidelity earned the film a devoted following. Upon release, Mortal Kombat quickly achieved cult status. Thirdly, Mortal Kombat 1995 holds immense cultural and historical significance as a milestone in the video game adaptations. Before it arrived, Hollywood's attempted game movies were either critical commercial failures or outright jokes. This film smashed the so-called video game movie curse. Even a major outlet like Slash Film flatly states in 1995, Paul W.S. Anderson broke Hollywood's video game adaptation curse with Mortal Kombat, which was a shining example of video game-based blockbusters. Finally, it's worth noting that the production background and creative choices show just how much the filmmakers cared about honoring the game. This wasn't a slapdash Hollywood cash-in. It was made by people who genuinely wanted to bring something they truly loved to the screen. Mic drop.
With a minute to spare. All right. So I have no follow-up questions for this. So it looks like you both have the opportunity to reinforce your argument. This is gonna look really tough on you, Salty, because I have no reference, I have no visuals, I have nothing on the subject at hand here, as far as Minecraft. All right, hey, so Salty, you're really gonna have to convince me because I have no reference here. You think you can do that?
I can try. You see, here's the problem. Is that I do understand that Minecraft is kind of a
Whoa, hold on. Okay, this is my clarification. I guess I'll count that as a clarification.
yeah.
All
No,
right,
that's
so
right.
you got 2 minutes to clarify. Can you do that, Salty?
Well, it's a tough situation because Minecraft is a deeply niche game where you literally just run around and do whatever you feel like doing in this bizarre world that just happens to look exactly like what you see in the film trailers. What's really interesting is that with each subsequent trailer, they keep showing you more and more little things. And to the average person who doesn't know anything about the game, they're just like, okay, just more stupid stuff in Minecraft land. But then to anybody who's played Minecraft, they're like, oh, they did the thing and they got the thing and they get the thing. And they do that over and over. Everything you see in those trailers, with the exception of the live action characters, are things that are in fact in the game, one for one, perfectly recreated. We're not talking about, oh, they captured the spirit of it. We're talking about identical, indistinguishable. The only difference between the actual game that you would play on your computer and the movie is the movie's graphics are a step up, and that's it.
And you know this for sure.
Yeah, I played hundreds of hours of Minecraft.
No, I'm talking about the movie. And you know this for sure. The movie's gonna do this.
Well, like I said, the story of the movie is irrelevant because there is no story in the game. There's literally no story.
There used to be a story mode. I know. My kid told me that.
The story mode, I will tell you, that's right, just to let you know, the story mode is you eventually find your way to finding a dragon and kill it.
Right.
That's it.
Right. Okay.
There's no other story.
Jack Black's supposed to be essentially playing the default character. That's why he's got the blue shirt and stuff.
Yes, that's Steve is in fact the name of the character in the game.
All right. That's good. Time's up.
Yeah.
So I think If
At least bump me up to 0 points.
so, I think I'm.
Copy. Look at that. Why are you messing with him so hard?
Yeah.
I was like, whatever. This guy.
I'm just waiting to get to the
You're like, here's my response.
except that I'm not lying. Oh, you lost your audio there.
Dude, me?
Yeah. But I think it might have been because Gonzo is reconnecting.
Oh, copy. All right, let me get back in the scene.
Oh,
Why does it say he's offline? Oh crap! He didn't even make it over. He showed up and didn't even show up.
see now it's frozen. There it is. Hold on. All right, there it is.
You like tilted your head for you're like a
Max Headroom.
Minecraft.
He's like Max Headroom.
I'm
man.
like a Minecraft character,
I
exactly.
love it. Oh my god! I just thought of something cool. I should
Okay.
make a Max Headroom head and use AI to talk. Dude, I love Max Headroom. We can have Max Headroom PR judge.
Hey man,
That is-
look at that AI already replacing workers.
He's like the
Wow,
judge.
man.
The judge, man.
And now,
Well, go ahead if you feel that way.
I love that, bro. Sorry.
Gonzo, I just want you to know that, even though I know that you've been coming down hard on me so far in this, I'm not the one petitioning to get rid of you. Just putting that out there.
I'm not. What are you talking about?
I
Just
see
to
you.
replace him with Max.
Oh
You literally just said you're going to replace it with AI. So,
Well, because eventually he wants to want to make him a competitor.
Eventually.
You want a nerd fight, don't you?
At the moment, I have no desire to.
He's like, I'm just here because I got nothing else to do on a Monday night. It's like whatever. Tuesday night.
man, you know what? Do you know who Baylock is from Star Trek, the original series?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
The original series?
Yeah, well, no, I'm talking to Mr. Know-It-All because when you do your clip hunting, you need.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, you've got to get. Because you've got to get
I can even
Baylock
send you the
laughing.
background.
When you laugh just now,
on the logo, dude.
when you laugh just now, that was Baylock's laugh, just a lower pitch.
Just so much. I hate you so
It
much.
absolutely was.
Dude, I'll send you the background and the logo. Go make anything. Fill this whole video clip section up with funny stuff.
I'll find the
I have
Baylock laugh
a
for you.
bunch in my mind, but yeah.
Well, I think we should continue.
All right, can we continue real quick? Because I do want to say one thing
Yes.
real fast. Ready?
All right.
All right,
So,
hold on a second. 3, 2, 1. Look, can I real fast? I have one thing to say about what just came out of his mouth.
he spoke haram, huh? He was like, haram!
I'm just saying, I'm playing by the rules.
Is that what that
man.
is?
Some people aren't, but
Hey, listen.
He
Just
kept
because
telling
there
us
wasn't
tonight-
a clarification on the make of the movie, that was a severe cop out, which means
the competition is
we allowed it.
the best.
We allowed it.
Totally.
We allowed it. You
Yeah,
just get
I'll take the mulligan.
the negative 10 for that.
You realize the only way that I'm losing tonight is if I say nothing. If I just keep quiet.
oh no, I still think you win.
All right, here we go, gentlemen. You have 3 minutes to reinforce the movie that you picked. You had 5 minutes, and now you have 3 minutes
Who's going
to
first?
reinforce the movies that you chose and to further convince me. So, Salty, it is your turn to go ahead and do this. Beginning now.
I do understand that it is difficult for some people to acknowledge the fact that a film that's coming out in 2025 is inherently going to have a higher production value than a film that came out in 1995 or any prior decade.
Careful, counselor.
I'm skirting the engine. But the simple fact remains is that if you do look at the trailers for this film, the look of this film is absolutely gorgeous. The comedy of this film is definitely on point, and every single aspect of this film looks flawless. I do understand again that it's this. I'm fighting an uphill battle here because I don't have a lot that I can add to what I've already said. That being said, once I have my opportunity to rebut my esteemed colleague over here, I think you will start to understand just how much you've already been deceived by that person as for the quality of his selection.
Oh no. Oh, does this conclude your
Yes,
reinforcement?
that concludes my reinforcement.
All right. Oh, wow. That was
Wow.
pretty wow. It was pretty impressive. Oh, that was terrible. Don't even you can cut
You're
that
good.
part out, right? No, I'm just playing.
Yeah, you're good. I thought it was good.
No, I'm just playing. I'm just playing. So, all right, Mr. Know-It-All, you have 3 minutes to reinforce Mortal Kombat and convince me, which currently it doesn't seem like it's going to take a lot to do.
Just let me know when to start.
All right, go ahead right now.
All right, having laid out the evidence, let's reinforce why Mortal Kombat 1995 reigns supreme among video game movies, especially for its faithfulness to the game. First and foremost, consider that no other video game film has so completely satisfied the fans' desire to see the game on screen. Critics or skeptics might snicker that the movie is cheesy or lament its lack of gruesome R-rated gore, but those critiques miss the point. The slight campiness is intentional and utterly in line with the game's own over-the-top style. And as for the violence, the film's PG-13 rating was a strategic choice that allowed the core fan base, including younger gamers, to experience it. Even without splattering blood everywhere, Mortal Kombat delivered intense fights and fantasy action that felt like the game, which is what truly mattered. In fact, one commentator noted that the movie smartly mimics the game's minimal plot by focusing on the tournament, making it akin to watching a live bracket of fights. That's exactly what Mortal Kombat adaptation needed to be. So any argument that it's not faithful enough because of toned-down violence is looking at the wrong metrics. Fidelity is about capturing the essence, and this film undeniably does this. The core appeal of the Mortal Kombat games, the characters, the fighting, the mystical tournament stakes, all come through vibrantly in the 1995 movie. This is a point no detractor can refuse. Even modern reviewers who poke fun at the film's 90s quirks end up admitting they love it so much because of its charm and game-accurate thrills. The supposed flaws are exactly what make it a cult favorite that transcends so bad it's good into simply awesome. Furthermore, let's not forget that the time has vindicated Mortal Kombat over the years. Numerous other video game movies have attempted to dethrone it, yet here we are.
And we lost him.
So,
Yeah, he's winning anyway.
Can't hear you.
hear me?
You sound like
Hello.
Nope, gotcha.
yeah. You went underwater for a second for some reason.
You went underwater for a second.
No, you did.
You still have 48 seconds if you want to.
For example, Resident Evil 2002 spun off into its own thing entirely, which, while entertaining, can hardly be called faithful to the game's story. Other early attempts like Street Fighter, Super Mario Brothers are remembered badly because they missed the mark. Ultimately, the evidence for Mortal Kombat 95 supremacy is a simple fact that it remains a fan favorite, cultural touchstone. Decades later, the film succeeded where so many others have failed. It respected the source material, entertained the fans without apology. It proved that video game movies could honor its origins and still kick butt at the box office. A flawless victory.
Oh, nice.
Wow. You've been waiting for that one.
Okay, all right. Well, I'll tell you this. Wow. I'll tell you this. I was impressed with Salty there. So,
Are you serious?
No, I was impressed with Salty.
How much money is he slipping you?
Both of you are going to get 50 points, but because, Salty's already in a negative, he has 40.
Step in the right
You're going to have
direction.
to blow me out of the water, sir.
I'm glad you included
With
the
your
out of the
rebuttals.
water part of that sentence in there.
Say what now?
He's glad you include the other part of that sentence in there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The out of the water part.
Salty's
Throw
got
me
it.
out of the
What?
water. Yes, yes. I'm not pausing in between there. There's no pause.
Debajo del agua.
Oh, all right. Gentlemen, it looks like we're going to be going into round 2, the rebuttal rounds.
You're going to play the little thingy?
Yeah, but he's
Right.
doing something right now.
Sorry.
Round 2, the bad. Each fighter has 5 minutes with which to attack your opponent's choice directly. Highlight flaws, inconsistencies, and most of all, weaknesses. 1 point possible. Fighters cannot change or expand on the original argument. Your initial case is locked in. Defensive arguments can only counter attacks without adding new information. Each fighter gets 2 minutes with which to defend against attacks. 1 additional point possible. The judge may ask clarifying questions, giving each fighter 1 minute to respond. 1 additional point possible. Option: in the event of a tie or the judge is finding difficult to make a decision, each fighter is allowed a final 30-second summation.
All right, who's first? I
All
went
right.
first in the last one. I would assume that Salty would be first.
Yes. Salty went first in the first round.
Oh, he did?
Yes.
Well, I'm first.
He's the one, so you go first.
I'm first. Okay.
Yes, you are. So,
Okay,
Mr.
he's
Know-It-All, it is time for you to rebut Salty's
finally.
Minecraft cop-out.
Wow.
I feel like Salty's like, is this how I get a fair trial? Is this a fair trial? Is this what that looks like?
You,
It's
sir,
the fairest trial I've ever had in America.
This-
Here we go. All right, ready?
It's a witch hunt.
It's
All right. Starting now.
okay. So I'm going to try to rebut and argue about a movie that hasn't come out yet. Let's see if I can do as good a job as he is building an argument for a movie that hasn't come out yet. First, I think that it has this film has a complete lack of any kind of track record. As of now, the Minecraft movie hasn't even been released or fully produced, so there's really no tangible evidence that can claim the top spot among video game adaptations without a finished product. There's no proof it faithfully represents the source material, because you have to remember, the trailers are always designed to sell the thing. So your entire argument is based on a sales pitch. I will also argue the Mortal Kombat ads didn't necessarily promote it the right way, or what, because Hollywood didn't know how to promote it. So once it came out, then it did its thing. So as a result, likewise, my conflicting argument to that is that you're basing your argument on a thing that is designed to look good. So I don't know how that proves your point. There's lack of any kind of narrative foundation in the source material. The original Minecraft game is beloved for its open-ended sandbox experience with no real strict plot per se. It has a silent protagonist, so I guess Jack Black is going to not talk in this thing. The translating all that into traditional filming is not going to be easy in any way, shape, or form. Also, there's an historically high risk of failure for video game movies. Mine has a track record to go with behind, but otherwise, most video game movies don't do incredibly well. Detective Pikachu did terribly at the box office. Then, of course, there's any kind of complete absence of critical or fan reception, so I can't even really argue that it was popular with the fans, whereas mine has a ton. It's hard. You see what I'm saying? It's difficult for me
Yes,
to
it's very
balance.
difficult.
I'm not trying to talk about mine, I promise, but I don't know how to talk about yours because there's nothing to talk about.
Keep trying.
It makes it a little difficult to do. So to call it the best video game movie, it feels like
3
it's sort of-
minutes.
it typically emerges after release, when we can weigh the box office results, the fidelities of the source material, fan reactions, cultural impact, and none of these metrics exist here. So it's very difficult to label this the best. I'd be willing to have the argument best video game trailer. I think there's probably an argument to be had there, but that's not the game we're playing. We're playing best video game movie. And that's, I think, where the confusion might arise. I understand. You probably need to take a nap.
Wow.
All right. That was something else. And Salty, are you- that was. I am trying to be as
Objective?
unbiased as possible, and it's extremely difficult.
Quick question. So to Mr. Know-It-All, don't worry, it's not about the actual debate per se,
Okay.
but when you played that clip of Joe Pesci, now without actually doing it, what were the steps you had to take to do that?
I hit the show button and then I hit transition.
So you added it to, it's already part of because we're in the dynamics.
It's in the video clips.
Right. So what did you just
under layers?
Okay.
Yeah, add yours there, and then and you click it, and it'll go.
Okay.
And put it under once it's you'll see it on the side window. They just put it in transition. You're good. I think it's you should totally be allowed to respond to something. Go for it.
Well, that's what I was trying to see. Okay.
Again, I'll get you the background. You can totally make
click
as many as
show and then hit the transition button, or do I just click show? Okay.
Show and transition.
Okay. So this is my unofficial response to everything he has said thus far. Which you will notice was the same laugh that he actually...
I was literally doing it as you showed.
Yes. Oh God.
So, by the way, I think I deserve the 10 points just for being able to find, trim, upload, and prep that clip while he was giving his argument.
No,
that's why he kept saying, "Keep going."
That was impressive. I will give you 5 points. So you're negative. You're at 45 points right now.
Okay, excellent.
That's good.
All right, so you ready for my rebuttal?
Yes.
Okay.
It is time for Salty's rebuttal. Here we go. Whenever you're ready, starting now.
At least this he has an argument about.
Yes, because
right. I'm looking forward to this. So, are you ready, man?
Yeah.
All right. Here we go. Now.
So, Mr. Know-It-All, of course, presented a very compelling case for why Mortal Kombat was so good. A compelling case, of course, if you have either A, not seen the Mortal Kombat movie, or B, never played the Mortal Kombat game. Because unlike what he was saying, the two have very, very little in common. For example, he particularly calls out how faithfully Scorpion was reproduced for this film. Yes, it's true, they got the same voice actor to do the "get over here" voice, but that's because they had to do something that was at least vaguely the same, because last time I checked, Scorpion didn't have a living snake monster coming out of his hand in the video game. Look it up. It doesn't happen. As far as the plot taken from the game, I'm sorry, the game literally is a martial arts tournament. The plot of this game is some nonsense about how there was Liu Kang had a little brother who was murdered, but then he has to go join Mortal Kombat, but he doesn't want to because even though Raiden is really the Highlander, but it's just stupid. The plot is nonsensical. I mean, I'm sorry. The Minecraft plot makes more sense than the Mortal Kombat plot right now. By the way, as far as... This is my time, buddy.
What black chick is named Raiden?
What?
That was the Raiden. I'm like, because it's like a black chick's name and threw me off.
Raiden.
Where was that black chick in Mortal Kombat named Raiden?
Raiden, sorry. Man. Jeez, get over it. All right, so as far as Reptile being so faithful, last time I checked in the game, Reptile was just Scorpion reskinned green. But in the movie, Reptile is a color-changing chameleon monster that looks like he was on a PlayStation 1 video game and then magically transforms into a stone statue that then becomes a reskinned Scorpion for some reason and then immediately dies and turns into a pile of bugs. It makes no sense and has nothing to do with the game whatsoever. Shing Tsung was perfect. Did you ever play the freaking drinking game. He didn't sit there and suck people's souls away if they lost to someone else. That's only in the movie. Again, they keep changing it. Oh, yeah, Goro was practical. Yeah, you're right. He was a really impressive looking 7-foot tall Muppet. I was just so impressed by Goro's impression. The tone was the same. The tone in the game was gritty, nasty, dirty, and violent. This was freaking Star Trek, the original series, with a little bit of blood added in. These were not even remotely the same tone. And as far as your complete, blatant lies about fan reception, oh, the fans loved it. Oh, yeah, 58% on Rotten Tomatoes from the fans. 58%. Look it up, pal. No, the fans didn't love it. You loved it. End of story. As far as it just being faithful to the game, I'm sorry, but I would have an easier time believing that Elon Musk was faithful to his first girlfriend.
Yikes. Are you done? Is this it, sir? That's your final answer? All right, cool. Wow.
I'm sure him and Radine didn't like.
I'll tell you one thing, Salty. That was a very compelling rebuttal against Mortal Kombat, right? However, Mr. Know-It-All couldn't even rebut a movie that wasn't even made.
Well, you know what? He could have rebutted what I argued for it, but he didn't. And in fact, that's the whole point of rebuttal. I'm just, to clarify what we're talking about. Every point I just said are things that he argued in his initial argument. I went line by line through his initial argument. What did he say about my initial argument?
I had an initial argument.
So did I. I talked about.
No, you don't.
I absolutely did.
You have a trailer.
I talked about the look
You're
of
absolutely right. Your trailer
I talked about the look of the movie. I talked about the fact that the story is irrelevant because of the type of storytelling that it is. I did bring up, granted, I didn't bring up as many points as you did, but I also refuted all of your points. So it doesn't really matter.
Those are arguable still.
I was going to say it's all.
Those are so arguable. Those that I could even do that as a judge, but I'm not going to. So, however, that was compelling. I'm going to give you 15 points for that, and Mr. Know-It-All is going to get only 10 points for that.
I need to
leaves you still at 55 and Mr. Know-It-All at 70.
I need to concede. I think Salty ultimately wins when we do the video game trailer version. I'm down. He wins automatically.
Oh gosh. All right, it looks like Mr. Know-It-All won this one, and it looks like, oh man, the wild card round.
The
wild card round.
Before you go to the final round, I will concede that, I know I had a disadvantage here because I picked a movie that hadn't come out yet, but that's because, honestly, I couldn't think of a good video game movie. So that's the problem. I did enjoy Mortal Kombat. It was probably my favorite of all the video game movies that I saw, but there's no such thing as a good video game movie.
So all I can say about Minecraft is both my kid and her boyfriend are going to go see it, because they're going to do the review on the channel. They're both going to go, hey, watch it, because they both love playing the game, and they're like, that's not that game. And I was like, all right, whatever. So yeah, they plan to do a review on it.
And I almost went, because you mentioned that they used the same voice actor for true story. They used the same voice actor from the Minecraft game for the villagers. The guys that go,
oh my god, I hate you.
No way.
That's awesome.
Oh god. All right. You ready? Go ahead with
Round 3, the ugly. This is the wild card round. The fighter with the fewest points picks their position first. Their opponent must take the opposing side, no exceptions. Refusing to debate or intentionally throwing the round forfeits the entire match. Each fighter gets 2 minutes for their argument, plus a 1-minute rebuttal. 1 point possible. Decides the match if tied.
Okay, looks like we got the lightning round, or the wild card round, and I get to choose the movies. And I'll get 2 movies. And Salty, since he's the one who lost the round, he will be able to pick which movie he gets to defend.
Okay.
And today's movies that I want to talk about is Mario Brothers with the Leguizamo, John Leguizamo, and Street Fighter
Ooh.
with Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Yeah.
As
That
God.
is. Ooh, wow. That's vicious right there. That
Yeah,
is,
it is, isn't it?
right there.
You feel the fang, the sting, don't you?
Because I know
Which one are you
exactly.
going to defend there, Salty?
That's right.
Pick your poison.
Okay, I will go with Street Fighter.
Ooh, okay, we've got Salty. Salty over here in the red corner. He's going to go ahead and defend the Street Fighter movie. As we all know, sucked really bad.
Yes. Oh, I'm not
That
trying
means
to say it's a good movie. That's for sure.
That means Mr. Know-It-All here will be defending Super Mario Brothers. That horrible one with the John Leguizamo. Wannabe Italian guy. I tell you something, brother. It's a me, Mario. Roy.
When did
All right, here we go.
Puerto Rican Luigi?
Puerto Rican Luigi.
Yeah, total John.
Ya tú sabes, bro.
No, I got
It's a me. Tamí, tamío.
Tang también.
Anyways, so all right. So it looks like both of you have 2 minutes to defend this movie and 1 minute for rebuttals afterwards. So Salty, you're gonna go first, beginning now.
But you got to said okay,
Street Fighter.
You have to ask yourself, is Street Fighter a good movie? No, of course not. It's absolute trash. However, it's not as bad as it could have been because, first of all, you do have at his peak the man, the myth, the legend, Jean-Claude Van Damme, who absolutely was born to play Johnny Cage. In fact, Johnny Cage was based on Jean-Claude Van Damme. Unfortunately, due to a case of idiocy, Jean-Claude Van Damme decided to be in this movie instead. So he played Johnny Cage in the Street Fighter movie, which was a little off, but it was still Jean-Claude Van Damme doing his Jean-Claude Van Damme-y stuff. Now, you also have the sad but tragic loss of Raul Julia and him chewing scenery like no other person before or since in this movie, giving us the immortal line that for you, this was the worst day of your life. And for me, it was Tuesday.
Oh my God. This
You
is great.
cannot get that
You're
level.
gonna make me lose time. You have 30 seconds.
I don't even need the 30 seconds. That's all I need. I mean, how could you beat Raul Julia and that line? Nothing can.
Okay. That was impressive.
Before I have one thing to say. One thing to say.
Okay, so we
Game over. That was the greatest. I love that.
That was so good. He even quoted that answer.
Raul Julia,
Okay.
bro. Raul
All
Julia,
right.
you gotta admit that Raul Julia was arguably one of the best things about that movie. And he was on his
Poor
way out.
man.
Brother was fighting cancer, and he was like, "I'm gonna go out like a champ." And he treated that like it was Lawrence of Olivier, man.
He did.
Everybody else is in a different movie. He's took it so seriously. God love him. God love him. I refuse to say a negative thing about Raul Julia. I love him.
Yeah,
He
no,
was-
no, he
man,
was great. He was awesome. All right, Mr. Nora, are you ready to defend the Italian duo?
Yeah,
Or
let's
want
go.
to be Italian duos?
Yep.
All right, sir. You have 2 minutes. Beginning now.
Okay. All right. So let's talk. You want to talk movies? Let's talk movies. You want to talk pioneering spirit? Then let's talk Super Mario Brothers in the 1993 movie. Oh, yeah. So that movie was the very first major blockbuster of video game adaptation ever. If you're going to be doing trailblazing, you know what?
You're sounding like you're underwater now. You became Puerto Rican and started using your hands.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yep.
Pretty good. Sorry, making sure. All right. The had innovative vision, despite deviating from typical bright and cartoonish Nintendo setting. The film creatively attempted to translate the game's elements into dystopian Blade Runner inspired stuff. You got to remember, right around the same time Batman was out, so they were like, "Hey, you know what? Let's just borrow those sets." It easily pioneered, was essentially the first big budget movie. Like I said, has a cult following. Don't know why, but over time, the film has developed a cult status because of its outlandish sets, unique creature designs like the Goombas, and the chemistry between Bob Hoskins and John Leguizamo. Arguably, I think one of the greatest duos to be on screen together for that particular movie. Filmmakers went all in, creating a believable alternative reality. Dino Hatton, inspired by the original game. It featured elaborate practical sets, cyberpunk elements. Dennis Hopper as a villain. Come on, bro. Talk about scene chewing. I think we all had good villains in that era. Inventive adaptation choices. Hey, they swung for the fences. Whether or not they made it is arguable, but at the end of the day, they swung for the fences. Rather than direct scene-by-scene lift from the game, because who wants that? They decided to, just, go for some fun stuff. Cult status again, pioneering video game adaptation. I don't know how much more to add to all that. There you go. Super Mario Brothers.
All right, with 19 seconds left. All right. That one was a little lackluster there, Mr. Know-It-All. You're supposed to defend it. You got to make me want to go see this movie again.
Dude,
That's what I'm trying to say.
Again? You saw it?
I saw it in theaters when I was
once. I saw both of them once.
That's right.
And so,
yeah.
and so yes, you would have to come up with the arguments so that I can say, you know what? I forgot about that part. Let me go see it. Do any of you need to or would like to rebuttal the other's argument?
Oh, sure. I'll rebut
for this wild card round.
Yeah. I mean, that's what we're supposed to do.
All right. All right. So, Salty, it is your turn to do a rebuttal for Mr. Know-It-All's Super Mario Brothers. Now, nope, you go right ahead.
So now,
I had a brain freeze. I thought about it for a second. I'm just going to leave it alone. So your time begins now.
First major blockbuster movie implies that it was a blockbuster. Blockbuster, Mr. Know-It-All may not realize, means that people were lined up around a block to see it, which they weren't. Blade Runner inspired, maybe Blade Runner's toilets inspired it, but nothing else in Blade Runner certainly did. Cult following, he means a literal cult, by the way, just so you're aware that the only ones that bothered to see this movie. Dennis Hopper was hopped up on something in this movie, but he is no Raul Julia. I'm sorry, he just isn't. Swung for the fences, whether they made it or not is arguable. I'm sorry, there is no argument. They missed. Game over.
Oof. Ouch. Ouch, ouch, Mr. Know-It-All.
The problem is that you tried to sell it as a decent movie.
I'll tell you this. This was a borderline. Basically, this was a borderline. You just crapped all over it. It was hardly a rebuttal. Just want to let you know there. This was barely a rebuttal. This was an onslaught of the movie.
Hey, Mr. Know-It-All tried to sell that movie like
I was going to say, you realize the purpose that he set up was, this is a bad movie.
These are bad movies.
You have to realize. Nobody's pretending these are good movies.
Yeah, I know.
Hold on. And I learned this, by the way, by watching one of those stupid legal channels on YouTube. One of the best things you can do when you're defending something that has bad optics is to admit those bad optics, which is why I started out saying that my movie sucked.
See? All right. How about you, Mr. Know-It-All? Do you want a minute?
Yeah,
you're going to concede.
No. I want a minute. I got a minute.
Okay. All right. Hey, do a sound check real quick.
Check. 1, 2, 3. Check.
Okay, you sound great. Awesome. It looks like you're going to do the rebuttal for him right now.
So while some characters resemble their game counterparts, Street Fighter 94 strays significantly from the source. It forces characters into a weirdly meandering military rescue plot that barely resembles the tournament-centric narrative fans expect. Miscasting a flat performance, Jean-Claude Van Damme as an American. I'm sorry, what's that going on? America much? The iconic fighters like Ryu and Ken are sidelined and reduced to comedic sidekicks. The guys supposed to be Hadouken in their butts off, all the good stuff from the game. None of that. Tonally confused. The film veers between slapstick humor, forced one-liners, and a half-hearted effort at serious political drama. It tries to do so many things at once, it really kind of dilutes the energy itself. It lacks memorable style or legacy other than one thing, and that's
20
Raul Julia,
seconds.
and even he can't save the whole thing.
Oh, okay.
One question. I'm serious. Just a question. How does
Okay.
anything you just said rebut what I said? Because I didn't defend the plot. I didn't defend
You were
Jean-Claude.
supposed to.
Well, no, why? It's got an
That's the whole point of it. You got to defend the
Holy
movie.
Literally said,
You got to try to sell it to me, brother.
yeah, this is
I
like-
just said it's not as bad as the other one, and I stand
Come
by that.
on. But see, you can't just make up the rules as you go along. That's why I'm here, bro.
Kelly, you can be like the judge forever.
Yeah, man. I'll tell you what, though. I'm gonna just give this round to Mr. Know-It-All. Still, he was still able to do it, even though he was a little weak on. He was a little weak on the presentation or the defense.
A little?
It just looked like he was reading a synopsis of it.
He probably
However,
was.
you did not defend the movie as good, but it was a very close match because you did skyrocket it up there by mentioning Raul Julian and quoted him on top of that, which was very impressive. So you just lost by 1 point.
Not too shabby.
Well, it is Tuesday.
Exactly. And he gained the point. Now it's a tie. No, I'm just
We hope you've enjoyed this presentation of Nerdfights. This has been a know-it-all entertainment production. Replays are available on the Nerdfights channel at Nerdfighting on YouTube. Nerdfights is a part of the Salty Plus Network. On behalf of Salty Trekker, Mr. Know-It-All, and Gonzo, thanks for watching.